So, Chapter 2. Brought in here for a closer look at these 3 seals. You have to undo. First things first, go to the opposite side of the box. Looking at this panel, use your eyepiece and you'll be able to see that on the side here we have a 5 at the top here. That is a definite number 2. On the right hand side is a 7, and underneath you will be able to line up the number 6. So there's our code to enter. 5, 2. Flip the switch down, and now I'll open up this box here. Take a look at the leg to the right and at the bottom. It's a bit rounded and knurled, which means it's got an edge you can turn. Next you get a piece of cotton. It smells like paraffin. Paraffin being flammable, it makes it ideal as a wick in a lighter. Strike the wheel. Gives you that lever. Move all the way up to the top and keep going upwards, and it will automatically glide over into the latching position to hold it. So now we have our light source. If we go to the opposite side of the box, there's another leg with a gnarled edge, this time at the top. Spin that around to the left. Top raises, you can pull out the miniature telescope, which if you inspect, has arrows on the front you can line up, which will extend it out, and allow you to then place that into that clasp right there. Okay. Go back to this panel for a second and use our thing. If we look on the left hand side there, we've got 3 dashes and a symbol. That's telling us that out of 4 on a square, the bottom left corner matches to that symbol there. This is relevant for this keypad. So if we match up that symbol there to what we just had. Right next to the keypad there is another one. So at the bottom right is that symbol there. So if we go ahead and match that up, something like that. At the very top of the puzzle, we have another one of those ciphers. There it is. So the upper left is that circle, the line going through it. Match that in, and if we use our eyepiece again to find these fingerprints, we can go ahead and just tap that area there, push it in, and we'll get this book. But also we'll notice the last part of the cipher is right there in the corner as well, with a tower. So we'll then put that like so, and we get the heavy cast iron key. We inspect the book. These circles will move, which will allow us to place these gaps here, at top and bottom, so now we can move the sensor, which will allow us to move the right so the gap is over by the latch when it unlocks. And we have a little winding key. Take that to the side of our box, open the latch, use the key, quick turn for the spring, that activates the mechanism. Use your eyepiece and check out the viewfinder. You see the word trial. If you try using the viewfinder without the eyepiece, you don't get the word. You just get the video in the background. So trial. Again, we're going to use the eyepiece for this bit so we can match up this image right here. So that goes there. This comes all the way down to the bottom, and there we are. That opens us up, giving us an L. So we wouldn't have been able to put in the code trial until that moment right there, because this is where it goes in. So T R I A and L. So that's the first of 3 seals opened. Gives another box to play around with. Look on the top, there is a note there, you can read it if you want. Other than that, the button at the front to the right there, just slide that in, and it gives you this situation. You have to actually physically pick up your device and start to tilt it so that you are moving these coloured sections so that they are upright. And the only way to really describe it is you have to tilt it so that they're going towards the centre, they're falling in towards the centre. It's kind of counterintuitive. A word of note, if you've been playing with your device very vertically and you don't have screen lock on, that will be damn near impossible because the screen will keep rotating on you. It's annoying, but do what you have to. Use your eyepiece. Allow you to rotate this so you can see and line up the null element symbol. And that will allow you to use the key there, give it a turn, and opens up this drawer to be opened. So pull it, grab the small cabinet key, which you can then use right here on the front, and you end up with the enamelled brass star. It's just adjusted the keyhole now, so we're going to need a different key, but the brass star goes at the very top of the box. Into that recess there. Should give you another note to read if you want to. Or this brass ring with markings around the edge. You can use that to the side of the box on this dial. So you've got to turn this back and forth in a way that doesn't hit any slides earlier than the ones that precede it. So it's one left, two right, one left, two right. Anything other than that and it will cancel itself halfway through. Slide both of these up at the same time and then you get the oddly shaped key. If you remember this kind of thing from the first section, look at it head on. You can turn it so that it makes specific shapes. Have a look at the shape. It's up on the left hand side, so we're going to make our key up on the right hand side. It goes down on the right hand side and out to the left, so we're going to make ours down on the left hand side. Up on the right, down on the left. Right, down on the left. That should fit. Yep, good. Remember the circular plate with the star emblem. And that goes right here. That's that box taken care of. The second seal is open. One more to go. As soon as it presents you with this box, what you're going to want to do is go around to the other side. Have a look down here. There's a crank handle which turns these cogs, but this slider moves that first cog over so that it will connect with this thing. And if you turn it to the right a few times, it'll interact. Top of the box and reveal that drawer. Right there. So you notice this circle thing at the bottom. If you look at the top left of that drawer, you'll see that I can adjust the rotation of that thing. And I need to make it so that the gap is where the corner needs to come out. See, at the moment a square underneath, it's kind of the brass thing that's holding it in place. We need to find the square, the triangle, and the pentagon and line them up with the correct orientations. So the pentagon being in the bottom right corner means the gap needs to be at the top left. Thank you. The square being at the top right means the gap needs to be bottom left. Nope, sorry, the square is on the bottom left, so just the gap needs to be top right. That's correct. And then to the right of the box is this panel right here. So we just need to make that gap to the bottom left. That will give us the ability to open this drawer, where we get a rubber band and a large cog. We're going to use that large cog on the uppermost of the far left gears, so there, and just crank the handle. Let's go the other way though. That opens up to this panel right here, which gives us the small screwdriver. I'm going to use that on the other side of the box. This panel right here, so drag it over. Lefty loosey. Lefty loosey. Opposite of righty tighty, of course. There we go. That opens up this panel. These cogs are moving, but they have quarter gaps on them. You have to stop them turning whilst the quarter gaps are no longer obscuring that thing in the middle. So the peculiar folding key. Okay, so in this position here, the peculiar folding key goes up here. So if we have a look at the shape, it's spreading outwards, it's up on each side and down on the other side, with the T at the top. So as we face this, we can push these around and out. So the T goes at the top, each side wants the innermost coming in and the outermost going down. So that should be correct. There we are. It opens the drawer, giving us access to a medium-sized cog and a small cog. It's like a Goldilocks and a 3-burr situation. We're going to use these 2 cogs to make the middle channel here. And yes, we will be able to remove those. If we turn the handle right now, nothing happens because we need to move the switch back so that cog interacts with that one. And there we are. Let's set that off. We have another cog. It's a medium-sized cog this time. So let's go back. Remove those. Use the 2 mediums at the top. They don't touch, but that's not a problem because we have a rubber band. It goes there. Turn the handle. Activating that section there. That starts that moving. So you push this button on the left to push that cog in place. Which then gives you access to this tube. If you open it up, pull the lid out, you've got a small key. Also then there's a piece of paper inside which is a photo. If you check the back, 605 is a relevant piece of information. I'm going to use the key right here. Open that up. We use our eyepiece to be able to see what's happening here. So let's just rotate that into a place where it's actually visible and lines up. Move that across. And we should. There we are. That ready to go. Get a shield. If you grab that, take it up to the top of the box. Now we've got a sword, mace, an axe, the note obviously, and nothing. So if you give him the shield, he'll give you a little oval gemstone that goes into the bottom of the clock mechanism. Which if we now use our eyepiece, we can see the hands of the clock. If we match the time up to what was on the back of the photo, 6:05, 6:05. That is the 3rd seal. That is chapter 2 completed.